load. From there, that's the street level. Swinging around over the wall and dump it in. Well, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Lake Lot Build. So for today's episode, almost fell. We are going to start backfilling right here because we need to get some rock, crushed gravel, inside there into the floor because we're going to be working on the slab. But to get to it, we need to bring some dirt in this area right in here so the excavator can get closer to be able to dump over the top inside there. So we got two guys that will stand off to the side. Bobby will drop the crushed gravel into it and drop it, and then they'll manually slide it out. We have two sections. We have that's below the garage, and then we have the living area that is on this side. So we have a left side and a right side. Part of a good foundation area when you're backfilling is to go ahead and put in this corrugated pipe. And so if there is any water that migrates out of this dirt right here up against the house, it has an avenue to be able to come out in daylight, because this will be just somewhere around the grade right here. It'll probably be somewhere about right here, but this will be enough for that water to get itself to this side and then make its way on out that way. So it's always a good idea to put in what it's called a French drain, and to put that around the base of your foundation just in case you get any water that wants to push up against the house in this area right here. It's called hydrostatic pressure, which actually wants to push into the house. And if you're not waterproof correctly, that's where you get a basement that smells a little nasty. So anyway, I'll take a peek around the corner here for you. You can see it down there. And if we have any moisture that wants to work its way towards the house here, it has a way to get around the house and daylight out here and make its way on out. Okay, we're back in action. I'm going to turn around here and let you see what we've done. Bobby has built a pad so he can get up closer to the house. And we'll show you how the whole operation is to bring in the 1-inch crushed gravel, which is called clean rock. And here we go. So you'll pick it up from here. If I can zoom out, I guess I'm already zoomed out. You'll pick up the load. From there, that's the street level. Swinging around over the wall and dump it in. Just like that. Back and forth. And the dump truck, of course, he'll come up here, keep dumping. Bobby swings around. And in the meantime, I'm right here working on the waterline. I got to show you something. Whoever did this addition did it right. There is a valve, a brass valve down there I found, and this plug was in the end of it. So I unscrewed it. It looks like it's been broke, but I was able to get it out. The threads are perfect. Hopefully you can see that. So now I'm off to the hardware store to go get the piping. Oh my gosh, here it comes. To run the water line so that if we start any more backfilling, I can get this water line set in there, we can backfill over it and not worry about it. So now, let's go inside and see what the action is inside the house. Here, our guys will stand back out of the way. He swings around. Right there, comes in, and there it drops. That's how it's done. And thank God these guys are young, because they got to move all that by hand, push it around. Because that's the shortcoming of building on a slope, that you got to get this gravel in there from above. You can't get a little bobcat excavator or anything inside there. But we knew that going in, and it's a or just stay out here. But I'm off to the hardware store. I'll talk to you guys soon. The water main came in there, and I connected it and ran the pipe down here, and it goes in here, and that's where it goes in the house. Forethought was to make sure that we have a sleeve under the slab. It goes, or not under the slab, under the footer, so that it can go under the wall and comes back up. And so, here's my water line that comes up through the house. And I put a valve on it right there. So when I'll set it up like that, so it'll come up like that. And so when it comes up through the floor, it will come straight up through the floor. And we'll hook it to the wall right here. And that'll be where the water line comes into the house. I'm utilizing PEX piping for a couple of reasons. The biggest one is the simplicity. The other one is that I believe overall PEX works really well. It has the ability to have a little bit of expansion. I've seen PEX like that the pipe is frozen, and so the PEX itself will actually expand to accept that frozen, and so that your water line actually won't split like a copper. The other reason I like it is these connections. The connection I'm using is a stainless steel connection that pinches right here, and it is so fast. I can have home runs from where I've connected all the way into the house. Just one run, no joints, and so most of the time when you have a water line leak, it's going to be at a joint. Sometimes it does happen in the middle of a run that you'll have a split, but most of the time it's going to be at a joint, either an elbow or a T or a union, and that's where the two pieces come together. So the fewer joints that you can have, the fewer leaks that you will not have. So let me set up over here and I'll show you what I came across yesterday. You guys can picture, let's see if I can set this right here. Okay, good. Alright, so if you can picture the water line coming across the street, and then there was a valve, and that was the end of it. And so what I did was I took my PEX and I screwed it into the valve, and from the valve, then I opened up the valve and I ran the water. But what I noticed when I shut this valve off and put pressure against it, water was squirting out the side of the valve. And so I'll show you what the valve looks like. And it's the original valve that was underground. So this is the valve. If you can picture, this was the top of it. Of course, I hadn't screwed this part because I was trying to figure out. But right here is the split right there. And so if you could see, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but in the threads right here, there's a whole crack that happened. So either this was tightened too much, or maybe it froze. Something happened, but it squirted out, and that just wasn't going to work. But the nice thing about this valve was, this is a threaded connection going out. This was a threaded connection going in. So I took the top of it off, unscrewed that, and I was able to unscrew my PEX piping that was here, and then I was able to hold onto this pipe and then twist this and unscrew this, take it off, and then because this is a male fitted, the male end, and I was able to get the female end on the PEX, cut my PEX, put the new end on it, and then go together and then thread it back in. So now what I have is a straight line, and so my valve is now here, and I don't have to worry about it, which will be under my driveway. So I won't ever have to worry about that, but I thought you guys would like to see what happens to even, let's see, that would be a metal top with the brass fittings. The brass, for being probably at least 30 to 40 years old, and when this development was put together, stayed together really well. Steel top is pretty bad shape. So overall, I'm really glad that I took this out, because if it didn't fail now, maybe another 10 years from now it might have failed. And so I would hate to have this thing start leaking into my driveway after we got the house built. So overall, it took a lot of hard work, and to be honest, I was filthy yesterday, and so that's why I didn't do much filming, because I was literally down on my hands and knees digging down in there to dig out enough to be able to get my tools in there to work. And so, but today's a new day. I didn't slow Bobby down. We're able to backfill, and now we're waiting on another truck. Okay, I have some quiet time right now, so I'm going to take you inside the house to see how much gravel Bobby was able to dump in here. And I feel bad for David's boys, the young guys that are going to have to get in here with their shovels and move this all by hand. But they're young. They got big muscles. That's what they, that's the way they're getting through college, right? Good way to stay in shape. So I'll turn around here and show you. So inside here is our mountain of gravel. And so the gravel is going to have to you can see the top of the door open. So the gravel is going to have to go there. And so you can kind of pick out the block, right? So it's going to be at the bottom of that. It's going to be right around in there. And so we have all that. We'll stand up here on top of the mountain. There we go. So they got to take that and smooth that all out in there. Go over here. You can see that this mound has to get smoothed out over to there, and that'll be, the concrete will be at the top, just above the top of that opening there. So they have a lot of work to do. But right now we're going to concentrate. My part is to get the backfill, but I'm so excited. I can't believe it. I'm building the house.